Are you someone who does all the manifestation stuff and you find that it's not really working for you? You're not getting the results that you're looking for? I'm going to explain in this video what is going on, how manifestation actually works, what it is actually all about, and what needs to happen in order for you to begin to really see the results that you're looking for, to experience the stuff you want to experience, have those kind of relationships, whether there's a certain income you're looking for, whatever it is for you, doesn't matter. The core principle applies across the board. Manifestation can get a lot of flack, and there's a lot of confusion around it because there's a lot of people that teach on it and are giving, I think possibly, maybe, I don't know if it's in their intention, but they are essentially taking advantage of people's fears and pain points and the suffering that they're in order to promote a course or a product or whatever, and giving all kinds of tools. I've seen everything from speaking to water to writing notes and putting them under your pillow, write something 3 times and fold the paper 6 times and turn in a circle 9 times, and all the different kinds of things. And these tools are all useful to the extent that they shift how you feel. So if they help you shift how you feel, then they're useful for you. But ultimately, they're not required. They're permission slips for you to feel empowered or to feel successful or to feel confident or whatever it is that you're needing to shift within yourself. What it really comes down to is you are going to attract, you're going to experience, you're going to see things reflected back to you according to who you are being. And when I say who you are being, what I'm talking about is that vibrational energy that exists, that you are. So what are you emanating? And if that's kind of confusing to you and I don't really get it, I don't get what vibration means, I don't get what energy means. Think about it when, say you walk into a room and there's a couple of people in that room, and as soon as you walk in, you feel, even though they've said nothing, they haven't told you anything, you can feel like, oh, this doesn't feel good. You know, there's some sort of tension here, even without any words conveyed at all. You felt the energy, right? There's a certain vibration that these people, they're vibrating in. There's an energy, a frequency that they're vibrating on. And you might not necessarily be able to put words to it. You just know this doesn't feel good. So we have like a scale, if you want to look at it this way. There's a vibrational scale. A map that I like to use is the map of consciousness, mapped out by David Hawkins. And he uses emotion to map out these levels, these frequencies of vibration, starting all the way down from shame all the way up into enlightenment. Something of a lower vibration typically doesn't feel good to us. We don't like the way it feels. Things like shame and guilt, apathy, grief, fear, anger, these kinds of things. Something of a higher vibration, this feels good to us. These are things like love and joy and peace, compassion, empathy, acceptance. So depending on what we are vibrating, we label it with words. So feeling is the word we invented to describe the conscious awareness of the vibration that we're. So when we understand everything is vibration, and then we look at the law of attraction, that like attracts like, this is really ultimately what manifestation, where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. So the thing is, the universe is truthful. So this is where we get to see what's really going on, and we can say, I want to be wealthy. We can even affirm it. I am wealthy, I'm abundant, I am free, I am prosperous, I am, all the things that we can say about ourselves. But that could just be lip service. What's really going on vibrationally and energetically for us is, I'm feeling lack. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I'm not worthy. I can't do it. I'm afraid of being successful because then everybody's gonna, want to take advantage of me. We can have all kinds of things going on vibrationally. And that's what the universe is communicating with. That's what we're seeing a reflection of. So this is why, even though you're doing all the really great manifestation things that you're doing, that they might not be working, because it's essentially lip service. You're doing things, but the energy and vibration isn't coming alongside of it. So if your affirmations don't shift actually how you are feeling, then they're not really helping you. If your journaling or your vision board isn't helping you to feel the emotions that go along with the achievement of the goal that you have, then it's not helping you. And then let's go a bit deeper. And this is where I'm going to help you guys. I'm going to do a series of this in order to help you begin to make some shifts on that deeper level. So I've seen it where there's these people that work really, really hard and they don't experience the results. And then I've seen other people, they don't seem to work very hard and their results are just through the roof. So that led me to really dig in and try to understand what was going on there. And I found out under the surface, vibrationally, that the people, even though they were working very hard, they had beliefs and energy, trapped energy in their body of things like betrayal or fear or sadness or confusion, or I'm looking at, I have a list of emotions here: blaming, jealousy, shame. Shame is a big one for a lot of people. Unsupported, and the list goes on and on. And so this is energy is emanating, is vibrating within the individual. And therefore, this is what is being reflected back to them by the universe. The universe just says yes. So whatever vibrational frequency you are on, you just get more. The universe says yes. So if you're like, life is hard and things don't work out for me, but I want to be wealthy and I wish I was, I wish that I had that ideal partner, the universe just says yes. So what are you doing? Who are you being in that moment? When you want something, that implies I don't have it, right? So you're just getting more of I don't have it. If you wish for something, it's something that you currently don't have, that's maybe off in the future or just kind of like a fluffy thing in the air. And so the universe just says, yes, it's off in the future, it's a fluffy thing in the air, it's not right now. We must shift who we are being in this now moment, because this is only the moment that we are able to create in, is right now. So when we look under the surface and we start digging in, and I've worked with many clients one-on-one, and I do this as a group with people, as with individuals as well, what we see is that they might have a goal of something they want to achieve. Let's say that's a financial goal. But as a young child, they experienced, let's just say, creative insecurity. So there was something that they did as a child where it was like they created a project or an art piece or something like that, and they put their heart and soul into it, and then they showed it to their teacher and the teacher criticized it, or they showed it to mom and dad and they ignored them. And so there was this emotion of like insecure about your creation, and you trapped it in your body and you've been holding it there ever since. And so there's an energy of like, what I create isn't good enough, it's not going to work, people don't like it. And so the universe just says yes, and you keep experiencing it. That's why you see it in your reality, because it's vibrationally going on within you. So you could be completely unaware that this is happening, right? And you could be affirming, I'm successful, I'm all these things, but your vibrational field is sending out a signal of creative insecurity. And so the universe says yes to that, and you experience rejection, you experience self-sabotage, where you won't actually take action towards your goals because you're afraid of being criticized or it not working or people laughing at you or whatever. Or you experience people who don't appreciate you. These kind of people will come into your life. You might have a boss who just, no matter how hard you work or what you do, there's no validation there, there's no approval, and on it goes, because your outer world is a mirror to show you what's going on within you so that you can heal it, so that you can let it go, so you can overcome it. So what I would like to do here, I haven't done this on YouTube or Instagram or any of my channels and stuff that I have done so far, but this is what I do with people one-on-one, and also what I do with my group, my healing group that we do every week. And I go through, and when I work with an individual, I'll use muscle testing to see what are the trapped emotions that are going on within you. And we start releasing those one by one. But I connected with spirit, or whatever terminology you want to use, with myself. I use muscle testing for myself and asked me, my higher self, I'm like, what are the 7 main negative trapped emotions that I should create videos on in order to help people release this from, if they can't work with me directly or in the group or something like that, like how can I put this out for free in order to help people? The top emotions that came up were shame, abandonment, sadness, jealousy, heartache, lack of control, and shock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one emotion at a time, and we're going to talk about it, we're going to learn a little bit about it, and you're going to go on a bit of a journey with yourself in terms of where is this going on within you, and then we're going to release it together. And the method that I use is called the emotion code. And so I go through and we test and we see, what's this emotion? Where is it trapped in your body? How old were you when it was trapped? And what was the experience that you had that you actually felt an overwhelming quantity of that emotion? Typically, when we trap an emotion, it means pretty much it overwhelms our system, and we don't have the tools or whatever in order to process it and allow it to move through our body. So now we're going to look at that. We're going to see And obviously, because I'm not talking with you directly, I'm not going to be able to find the specific thing for you, but be confident in yourself that you're going to, and trust your intuition to what comes up for you is what it is, is the situation where it is in your body. And that's going to make sense as we go through here. So healing happens through intention, through witness, and through knowing. We've used the word faith before, but sometimes people don't really fully know what that word means, to have faith. But that basically that healing happens through the shift in vibration. If I take an example out of the Bible, so I grew up learning about Jesus, and there was stories of him, being this great healer, and people would come to him and be like, please heal me, or my son is sick, or I'm blind, or whatever, and Jesus would do different things in order to heal these people. Interestingly enough, Jesus himself said, "It is your faith that has healed you." Jesus didn't claim that he was this almighty healer. Other people had faith and belief in Jesus that he could heal them. But the actual thing that was healing those people was the belief in their mind. It was a shift. They were putting their faith in Jesus, thinking it was him that was doing it. But it wasn't Jesus having some magical power on them. It was that they shifted their knowingness. They went from I'm sick to I'm healed. So they went through Jesus to do it, their belief system. They didn't have the belief in themselves, but at least the belief was there. And so when we do these healing practices, I don't have any magical power more than you do. We all have magical power. It's our ability to know something to be true that creates that experience for us. And that is what healing is. And I know this because I see it happen all the time. I see people healed. I've had clients who have been in tremendous pain, and we've released trapped emotions, and that pain has instantly gone away, and it's been there for years. And I've seen people's financial situations change. I've seen relationships change, all the stuff. So I'm in this knowingness of the ability to create whatever reality you want. And so I'm vibrating at that frequency. So what's happening here, and this is what any healer is doing, and Bashar has talked about this as well. If you don't know who Bashar is, go look him up. He's super cool. A healer vibrates at a certain frequency and basically creates a space, and it's an invitation for you to join them on that frequency. And it's up to you whether you're going to choose to raise your vibration to that level or not. It's always on that individual to choose that. So what we're doing here is we're going to go through and understand, here's an area where you've been holding on to something of a lower frequency. And I'm going to then invite you to let it go. And so that your vibration can just naturally raise. And then we're going to do that one by one on each of these videos. So without any further ado, we're going to move on to our 6th trapped emotion, which is lack of control. The definition of lack of control is lacking restraint or direction, unable to regulate or command, a feeling that someone or something else determines your course. This one creates a lot of frustration for people. It creates a lot of turmoil. And again, it's because you're kept in a powerless position, right? You're kept in this place where you don't get to choose what happens to you. You don't get to choose your experience or whatever. And so it's very disempowering to be in this energy, this feeling of lack of control. And some of you watching this are going to be like, but Megan, it's true, I don't have control. Like, I lack control. Like, I'm not able to change my situation. I'm not able to, make things happen differently. I'm not in control of all this kind of stuff. What I want you to look at this differently as, and see it differently as, you create your experience not because of what is actually happening, but because of how you're perceiving it happening. Someone can be in prison and be the freest person on the face of the planet, because the freedom has to do with what's going on in your thinking and how you perceive something, what the thoughts are and the feelings and the emotions that you have. Because ultimately, the reason that you want anything, the goals that you have, the ideals that you have, is because you want to feel a certain way. You want the world to be a certain way so that you can feel happy, or you want your partner to be a certain way so that you can, feel love. You want a certain job or a certain amount of income so that you can feel free or successful or whatever. It's not so much the stuff that you're after, it is the feeling that you're looking for. So if you understand that, you don't need things to change. You don't need other stuff out there to be different or to happen differently. What you need to change is how you look at it. So if, for example, if you're in a job right now that you don't like, and you're like, I lack control, I have to go to the job, I have to pay my bills. Maybe you have kids, maybe you're like, oh, they're depending on me, I have to do all this kind of stuff. So I'm not in control. I lack control. And so every day you're getting up and like, you're feeling that. You're feeling, I'm not in control. I have to go to this job. I'm not free. So that is how you're perceiving the situation. So that's what you're feeling. That's how you're interpreting it. And therefore, that's your experience that you're having. But that's not true. You are choosing to go to that job. You are choosing to be in the home that you're in, that you have the bills to pay. You are choosing to drive the car that you're driving and all this kind of stuff. You chose, it was your choice to buy the things that have got the bills. It's your choice that you purchased those things, that you got those loans, that you whatever. You are choosing to go to that job every day. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do that. You could go to a different job. You could sell all your stuff. There is always actually a choice in there. You're buying into the idea, this concept that you don't have the control. So even by simply shifting your perception, be like, I'm choosing to go to this job because I want to pay for this mortgage and I want to pay for this car and I want to live in this city, in this country, and whatever. It's my choice that I'm doing this. I am in control. I am choosing this. So that's going to help to a certain extent. I'll give you another scenario. Say, for example, the situation with the war that's going on, and you feel there's no control, you don't have control over the situation. Imagine the people that are in it, right? Like just that feeling of that lack of control, of being able to be free and unharmed. So how do we work with that in a very difficult situation where I'm not in control? You always have the control to how you're going to respond to a situation. And I don't mean that this is easy by any means. I'm not like being like just saying this all fluffy. This would be very difficult and challenging to do in extreme scenarios, but it is still a choice and the control that we do have. We always have that control of how we react. We have a choice in that. So in that situation, we can choose how we respond to it. We might not have direct control over the physical stuff happening, but we do have the control over how we react, what we do in response to it, and how we work through things individually. For example, if someone harms you, you have the choice whether to take that on and hold on to that trauma and feel sadness and pity for yourself and hurt and all that kind of stuff, or you have the choice to forgive and to move on. You have that control how you're going to respond to it. But if we stay in this emotion, in this energy of lack of control, you are very powerless. And it ultimately, it doesn't serve you. And sometimes we think like there is some kind of comfort in giving up our power, where we're like, oh, like, I can't help it. It's out of my control. And I just, I'm just going to wallow over here in sadness and self-pity and despair and in all my negativity. But you're the one that's suffering because of it. And what I would encourage you to do is to take back your power, to be like, you know what? I have control over me and my energy, my mind, my thoughts, my emotions, and I'm going to utilize that power that I have to make a change. Be the change you want to see in the world, right? Is the saying. So look at yourself, think about where do you feel lack of control coming up in your life, or experiences or memories where that's been there for you in your past, where you might have trapped this emotion in your energy field or in your body. If I think about all the clients that I've worked through, this emotion comes up a lot around childhood. Even you think of like a little kid, that they come into this world and they're little beings and humans just like the rest of us, and with their own dreams and ideas and things that they want. And parents and adults can be very domineering. Like, you have to do this, you have to do this, you can't do that. And it's very restrictive. So that feeling too of like, well, I want to go play, but you're being forced to sit in a classroom at a desk, or you're being forced to sit down and do something you don't want to do. So as children, we can really identify and trap and hold on to this energy of lack of control. And essentially, I would say it's intentional that is done. So from a young age, you're programmed to believe you're not in control, because we would need, the matrix needs a lot of people in a victim mentality and in a controllable state in order to fuel the machine. So you have this belief system perpetuated from childhood that you don't have control, and therefore you are very controlled because of it. So we want to begin to flip that on its head and begin to shift that, and to see, yes, I am in control of me. I am in control of my energy, and you take that power back for yourself. So close your eyes, become aware of where you're noticing these memories and things of lack of control in your life, these beliefs around it, and you believe that you're not in control, that you've succumbed to that you've tolerated that idea of your limitedness, of your lack of power, and where you've given in to that narrative that you are weak and helpless. And just notice that. Are you feeling it anywhere in your body? Might be pain, it could just be tension. And then we're going to go ahead and release it. And we just release through, if you're a visual person, you can use your imagination to visualize something like black wispy smoke or goo or a flash of light or a dark energy being released from your body. If you're not visual, it's just a sense. You just sense it leaving the body. And so let's go ahead and do that now. We are thankful for that emotion of lack of control that's guided us to understand ourselves on a deeper level, but we now release it because it no longer serves us. And thank you so much that we're able to release this trapped emotion across all time, space, reality, dimensions. Thank you. And so it is. And just take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just releasing any more residual lack of control. And then I invite you to bring in that warm, healing, light energy in through the top of your head, swirling down in through the body, bringing healing to that area where you feel that it left your body, and to the rest of the body as well, where there might have been trapped energy around that lack of control, or that belief you'd succumbed to or chosen to believe that you are limited and weak and incapable. And we bring the new awareness of how powerful you are. Divine Creator. Allowing that identity, that new vibration to sink in. I am able to choose my thoughts, my reactions. I can think new things. I can perceive things differently. I can choose to be happy. I can choose to see the good. I can choose to forgive and let go. I am powerful. I can do it. I am free. I am abundant. I am love. I am good. Everything is working out for me and for the highest good of all. And I'm trusting the process and surrendering to the current of life, knowing I'm being taken exactly where I need to go. And then when you're ready, you can gently open the eyes, bring yourself back into the room. Be encouraged, be empowered. Don't fall for the lie that you are not in control. And don't fall for it that even though these things are happening out there, there's always going to be a smorgasbord of things happening. Just the same way you go to a buffet and there's all kinds of food. You're not going to eat all the food, and you're not going to eat it all today for sure. And there's going to be foods that you like and foods that you don't like. And you can go to one area and be a part of that food and enjoy that food, and you completely can not engage in another area of the buffet. But you say if you just go to an area where it's the foods that you like and you're not in the area of the foods that you don't like, your experience of the buffet is going to be really good. You're like, oh, it's an amazing buffet. It had all this stuff and it was so good. It was exactly what I wanted. But if you just go to the area where it has all the kind of stuff that you don't like, then your perception of the buffet is that it's so bad, so awful. They had all this terrible food. So there's always going to be things going on around the world. There's always going to be people that are difficult or challenging or amazing and funny, and like it's just always going to be this wide spectrum of things for you to choose what you give your energy to, what you give your attention to, and what you allow to basically take over. That's where you have that control as to what you are going to give that energy and attention to. That's up to you. I would say at least moving the needle more and more in the direction of this brings me joy, this is things that lights me up, this is what I'm passionate about. I'm going to give my energy towards that. Doesn't mean you have to completely bury your head in the sand and not be aware of what's going on around the world or in other people's lives and things like that. The difference is that you actually have the choice of whether you're going to get sucked into it or not vibrationally, where you're going to go into fear, where you're going to go into hatred and bitterness and all that kind of stuff. You can observe a situation, it is what it is, and not be brought down to that level. And so that's, you have the control there. So you don't lack control at all. You are fully in control of how you experience your reality. So I really hope that helps. Again, if this is your first video that you're coming across in this series, there's multiple other videos in this series as well around releasing trapped emotions. So I encourage you to go and check those out. And then we'll have one more that we're going to be doing here. The last and final one in the series is going to be on shock. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I hope you really enjoyed that video and were able to take away some nuggets that are helping you on your journey. I am deeply committed to my mission to raise the vibration of the world one person at a time. Of course, that starts with me and my own journey and then extends through the teaching and energy and healing work that I do on a day-to-day basis. I see really two angles to come at this journey of evolution for us to raise our vibration so that we can experience abundance and freedom and joy, those loving relationships, those healthy bodies, all those things that you're searching for. It actually is a journey that happens from within. And on the one angle, we come at this from understanding, gaining wisdom, beginning to discover ourselves and who we really are. How does the cosmos work? What is the soul's journey? This is why I teach on YouTube and give videos on my social media in order to gain understanding and wisdom and awareness so that we can logically move ourselves forward. The other angle to come at this is through inner work, through healing, through what has been coined as shadow work. This is why I do energy work and I use things like the emotions code, like bioresonance, do subconscious reprogramming, brain entrainment, all these beautiful and wonderful things in order to do work inwardly to shift our vibration. When I say shift our vibration, you naturally, at spirit soul level, vibrate at a very high level with perfect abundance and freedom and joy and all those things. But what happens though through life experiences, we tend to hold on to things like limiting beliefs, traumas, fears, doubts, anxiety, stress, all this kind of stuff that's not you. So our journey of raising our vibration is actually a journey of letting go of that which is not us. And so that is the other angle that I utilize in order to help people raise their vibration into these places that feel really, really good. What happens over YouTube though, or over these videos, is that there can be a disconnect. You can't necessarily talk to me or ask your questions. And so you sometimes feel like you're alone. So I'm really excited to announce that I have a membership where we can meet once a week and you're able to ask me questions as well as work with other people that are like-minded and on this journey together of raising our vibration, of manifesting lives that are beautiful and wonderful, that we're so happy and excited to be alive, living our passions and doing the things that bring us a lot of joy. On those calls, I will actually work with you individually as well. For people who are wanting help, I can release negative trapped emotions right there in person. For those who would like that done, I can use my bioresonance technology in order to read your frequency right then and there and actually send you frequency that will help bring more balance for you as well. And you can also, again, ask your questions, and I share even more tips and tricks than I have available currently on YouTube on how to heal the shadow on the day-to-day when you're on your own and I'm not there with you. What are these things and practices that you can do that ultimately raise your vibration? As we shift and release that which is not us, all the money and the relationships and the love and the health, it just is a byproduct of that. It's a symbol of the shift that's happening within yourself. So if this membership is something that sounds exciting to you, you want to connect with other like-minded people, you want to connect with me and grow in community together, there is a link in the description where you're able to get more information on that and sign up, and I would love to see you there.